Hey, welcome to the Creative Shop Talk podcast. I'm your host, Wendy Batten. I'm so happy you're here today. We are going to be talking about how to help your team this season and beyond. But right now, this is something that's actionable right now, super simple to help your team feel less salesy. I've had this conversation with my clients. A lot of retailers right now will say to me, Wendy, when I'm selling things or when I'm on the floor, things are easier. I don't know how to teach my team how to sell. Like I can sell like there's no tomorrow without being sleazy. Let's just always say that when you're here on the Creative Shop Talk podcast listening to me, I'm going to always say we're not about being sleazy with our people. It's about genuinely helping and serving our clients. So, how do we teach our staff and our team to feel less salesy and to have conversations that are more natural? So, it seems to be a block. I'm going to share some simple prompts that you can teach your team, things that you can actually, pin them up on the bulletin board or go through them, share these conversations and action them this week with your people. So let's get to it. Running a retail business doesn't have to be so hard. Welcome to the Creative Shop Talk podcast, the go-to podcast for creative shop owners, studio owners, and independent retailers. I'm your host, Wendy Batten, retail business coach and mentor. Each week, I'll share simple, proven business strategies, inspiring stories from fellow retailers, and advice from industry experts. Together, we're going to work to find the success you want from your retail business with more profits in your till and a little more joy in your life. Okay, so what I'm hearing right now from a lot of people, a lot of clients, I say people, but a lot of retailers, they're telling me that they get sales conversations a little bit more than their team do. So they get why we have to have why we have to have sales conversations. They understand if, a client wants to buy something, how we do suggestive things. But how do we get our team to help our customers even more without feeling, want to buy a watch, like slimy salesy. I don't know what the word I'm trying to come up with there. So this is the fastest way, what I'm going to give you today, for them to feel more comfortable. So we're not wanting to always be chasing new customers. You know that if you've been listening to the podcast, it's not about getting more customers in the door. It's about serving the ones who are right in front of you, right? It's about serving them better. And again, if you've been listening for a while, if you haven't been, go back and listen, because you'll see this is my theme. We call this conversion and increasing your average order value, right? We want to get them to buy, but we also want to help them buy more, right? We just want to, and our team sometimes are shopping from their own pockets, or they have a mindset around it, or they think, I'm going to sound salesy if I push this product on them. So today we're going to bust those myths. We're going to teach them. I'm going to give you some tools to teach them and make it a little bit easier. We're going to banish the fear of sales, I guess, if that's it. So let's talk about some different ways. So these are 5 different, I think I've got 5 here. Hang on. Let me just check my notes before we jump in. Yeah, I have 5. So we have 5, I'm going to say sentences that you can teach your people. These are 5 actual prompts that you can teach your people. These are the 5 things I want you to write down. These are important. These are going to work, and they're not salesy, slimy, salesy. What is that? Sleazy, slimy, salesy. That's what I'm trying to say. It is not. So here's the first one. Let me show you how this works, or let me show you something about this product. One line. So depending on what you sell. So let me show you how let me show you how this fabric feels. Let me show you how these earrings look on up, so holding them up to yourself. So you demonstrate. Let me show you how this paint works. Let me show you. For a bazillion years, I have been sharing that demonstration works. Demos work. Get their hands on it and get them to understand what it is that thing does. Even if you, like, if it's a pen and a journal, like, let me show you how nice these pens work. Let me show you the companion, the new book out from, let me show you the recipes inside this book. There's all kinds of things that we can show. So we're not just demonstrating, we're not just describing, we're demonstrating. So if a customer wants the experience of that thing. They don't want to just be told. I'm hoping this is coming across the airways, because let's say you sell paint. Let's show them how easy it glides on. I used to sell paint. So we used to have a chair sitting on a table with a can of paint next to it to show them how easy the furniture paints. And that was the line we always used. Let me show you how this works. I would pick up the paint, I would start painting the paintbrush, and I would say, here, do you want to try it? And then they would try it. And I'm telling you, right then and there, they get hooked, right? If you sell home decor, show how it looks styled next to this other thingamabob. Like, let me show you how this works. Let me show you how this looks really good with a plant next to it. I don't know, whatever. You're gonna take it from there. So where in your store could you add a quick little demo? Maybe it's even a pre-recorded demo. We've talked about this here before, and I've shared this many times, but maybe we have a video, and even if it's not your team selling, maybe it is signage selling, maybe it is I want to say pre-recorded video, but maybe you could have an iPad sitting there with video running on how this works. Let me show you how this works. It's a very powerful thing to say or to enter into your clients' minds. So that's an easy one for your clients, right? See, we're starting off with a slow ball. See, Wendy doesn't do sports. If you know me, I don't do sports. What do they call that? A softball. We're just going to softly go launch into this. That's really easy, right? So you can share that with your clients or your team and your staff. So the next one, the next prompt, the next line, the next thing we love to say that we can easily get our team to say is, hey, did you know this thing about this, or a great thing about this product? So a great thing about this product is that it's made locally. A great thing about this is that it's handmade by a local potter. A great thing about this is it's dishwasher safe. A great thing about this is it feels amazing when you put it on. Whatever you're selling, whatever you're doing, a great thing about this is what? People buy meaning, and people buy storytelling, not just the thing. So I have shared this story before, and I'll share it again, but a great thing about this beautiful piece of pottery I bought one time was that it was all, this is going to always sounds weird when I explain this, and I think you need a visual, and now I'm halfway down this rabbit hole, so I'm going to finish it. But I have this beautiful piece of pottery that has all these fish inlaid, and it was sold to me two ways. It was a very expensive piece of pottery that I normally wouldn't buy. I walked by it, had a little tiny sign on it that said, there was a story on the signage, first of all, and it said, did you know this was handmade here locally using real fish? So the signage caught me, and then the salesperson, the beautiful team member that was working with me, said, hey, the great thing about this is all capelin fish, which are a thing from Newfoundland where my husband lives, and it meant something to my family, but it was super cool. And then she explained to me the story behind this piece, this plate, the story. I bought the story, and it sits it's still out. It's one of those pieces we leave out all the time. We bought the meaning, not the merchandise. So remember, the great thing about this is a mini story. There's always a mini story around that. So an action for you today, an action that you can take from this, is practice telling, one sentence stories for your top 3 to 5 products. Think about that. What are the things that you really want to sell or promote this holiday season? The thing that that has everything has a story, by the way. Maybe it's the reason you bought it at market. Maybe that's your favorite author. Maybe it is, did you know that this jewelry it's handmade locally? Whatever your story is, whatever the product is, think about a few of your products, and you and your team come up with the great thing about this. Super simple, right? See? Number 2. Here we go. Number 3. This is called choice close. It's a sales thing. It's not gimmicky. It's really serving your customers. I want you to, again, go back to your mindset about that we're serving. We're not just selling, we're serving, we're helping our clients. So this is the choice close is the line that we use here that you're going to teach your people is, would you like this in red or blue? Would you like, 6 or 12, like whatever. It's almost like giving your clients or giving the customer a choice. Would you like this in large or small? Would you like the small candle or the big candle? Would you like, the round brush or the tapered brush? Would you like to start Friday or would you like to come in, Saturday to book your workshop? Whatever. Like giving customers that, it sort of just leaves that dead air, like I don't know, just that awkward silence sometimes. So this one takes a little practice because it just takes a little practice. So it's like a choice close, but it's also assumptive language. It's also like they're loving what they're looking at. They're looking at the pens, they're looking at the thing, they're looking at whatever. Would you like the black one or the red one? Whatever it is. This moves customers towards the purchase without any kind of pressure. They'll tell you, they'll say, I'll think about it if, they're not sure or whatever. But after you say that, would you like this? Then you kind of shut up, right? You shut up. You just stop talking. You say, would you like the 3 or the 6 pack? And then you're quiet. You don't say anything. You don't say, because the 3-pack's a really good deal and blah, blah, blah. Just learn to stop talking. Silence will sell your products. So just thinking about that and that action step. So I'd love you to try to think about what could you naturally practice, or how could you naturally practice this with your clients, with your team? I'm going to keep saying clients, but I mean teams. So hopefully, see, that's a little bit harder, that one. Here's one. Sometimes we have people that they're not interested in buying. They're just not interested in buying. So how do we deal with that? Like, I don't know. No. How do we deal with that? No. So we want to make sure that we don't get defensive. So this isn't so much about selling, but it sometimes is, because it can reframe back to it. So here's your prompt. I hear what or I hear you, or, oh, I understand. So if they say something like, no, I don't like that paintbrush, or no, these pens this isn't my thing. Can I ask you what matters most about a pen or a book or the earrings or the whatever the thing is that we're promoting or selling? This is a little bit more empathy, and it's not about selling. Again, this is seriously about serving your customer, because they might say, I actually really like pens that have a tighter grip. And you say, oh, we've got that. Or tighter grip. Do pens have tight grip? I don't know. That was a really weird thing to say. But they might say, no, I don't like the length of this, or I don't like the feel of that material, or whatever the objection is. And again, it's not about us like talking them into it or getting, yeah, but these are better. These are awesome. It's literally listening to your client. It's literally listening. So teach your team to listen, but ask that question. Say, oh, okay, what kind of dresses do you like? Or what kind of earrings do you want? Or, what matters to you most about that thing? And they will tell you. People will tell you. So this helps keep the conversation going back and forth between, your client. And it does genuinely let your client know that you care. And you're like, okay, so I understand that. We don't carry, if you tell me that purple is the only thing that you like to buy and you genuinely only care about purple things, then I'm sorry, we don't have a purple whatever thingamabob. So it just keeps the conversation going. B, it also, like, again, it keeps the conversation going so they know, but B, you might have that thing. You might have that thing. So you might have an option or whatever, or listen to me on this one, it might be something that we hear often, we keep hearing often. So when you ask somebody, and this actually recently happened with me, with my programs, I had, people say like, no, I'm not interested in that program, I'm not interested in that program. So I would ask, I'm like, oh, okay, can you tell me like, what kind of programs would, like, what would matter most? And something that's quicker, something that's faster. I have an 8-week retail sales and marketing program, 6-week sales and marketing program that I was surprised some people wouldn't take. So at that point in time, I asked people like, well, what does matter to you about learning about retail marketing? And I've had people say, I'd just like to do it on my own. I don't want to do it in a group. So we heard that enough. I heard it enough. That was their objection. That was the objection to taking it. It wasn't the price. It wasn't the wonderful coach. No, it wasn't my coaching. They literally, and those people have now bought, because we have the retail sales accelerator on demand now. Those same people have come in and purchased that now. And I see, oh, if I hadn't asked what matters to you about that, I wouldn't know. So anyway, that can work for you as well too. So you have to practice that with your people. So that's the fourth one. And number 5, this is a silly one, but this is a gratitude loop. So a gratitude loop means this is a dorky one. This is a dorky Wendy one. But again, if you've been around for a while, you'll know, and it does make a difference. Hear me when I say this. It's about thanking people when they're at the cash and they've cashed up and they're leaving or they're done. A gratitude, like a genuine thank you, goes so far in sales conversations. And I know this sounds funny because it's like, well, the sale is over, Wendy, but this deepens relationships. This is about not pushing and being rushed with sales. This is looking somebody in the eye and thanking them. And this takes practice. And this is a sales tool. This is a sales tool. This is a sales tool, and it's a wonderful sales tool. I mean, they all are. But gratitude helps, like your clients will know, the customer at the other side. I know when someone's really like grateful. So thank you for supporting local. It really means a lot to us. We're so happy, that you found us. Maybe you say, we're so happy that you found us and that we were able to serve you today. It's so helpful, to support all our local makers, if that's what you do, or we really enjoyed having you here today. Thank you so much. If they're attending a workshop, like genuinely thanking people. And this is the economy we're in right now. By economy, I mean, this is where we are in the world right now. People just want to be seen and genuinely thanked. They vote with their money. They can go anywheres. Training your team to use gratitude at the checkout, and again, if you have bag stuffers or anything along that line, is a sales strategy, but it's a beautiful one. And it's if there's a next step, we talk about wow and delight. Again, in my sales accelerator program, we the last part of it's also wow and delight. Like, what else can you do to just that other people aren't doing? Your competitors aren't doing that. So maybe it's a beautiful bag stuffer, or maybe you're actually going to follow up with emails or handwritten notes or whatever. Again, there's so many things that we can do, but a genuine thank you that we're not like this. People can tell if you're just like, thank you very much for shopping with us. Like, it's like, yeah. It's scripted, not a scripted thank you. Although you can script it, but you need to have your team buy into this. You need to buy into this. Gratitude is so important in this meaningful economy that we have right now. People want to be part of your business, and thank them. I hope that makes sense. So that's number 5, the gratitude. Thank you for shopping local, being thankful. So there you go. We are going to show them by demoing, like we're going to teach your team the line of, let me show you how this works. Number 2, we're going to tell them, we're going to tell the great thing about this, and we're going to give it a little story, right? Number 3, we're going to make that assumption, that choice close, assumptive close, and we're going to say, do you want the red or the blue? Can I wrap that up for you? Do you want the six or the, I was going to say 6-pack or 12-pack? Sounds like you're selling beer. Maybe you are. It's all good. No judge here. And number 4 was, I understand and thank you. How, can I ask what matters to you most about whatever it is you're selling? So get that genuine feedback. And number 5 is that actually thanking them for supporting local. So show, story, choice, curiosity, and gratitude. Isn't that wonderful? I think you can make this easy for your team. I think this is of service to your team. So I'm going to double dog dare you to pick one and use it today. So pick one of those strategies and try it today. Try it for a couple of days and see how this shifts the energy with your team or with you and the sales. It just feels better. So and I want you to remember, you're not being pushy. Your team aren't being pushy. Make sure you're teaching them that they are being of service. That's how independent retailers thrive, is of being of service. You're not just a click and buy. You are going to be of service to them. So I hope that this has been helpful. This is 5 quick selling conversations, if you want to call them that you can start using today. Again, they're not tricks, they're tools for connection with your people, because when we're helping people feel seen, feel understood, feel cared for, the sales will take care of themselves. So remember, I'm going to say it again. When you are helping customers feel seen, feel understood, feel cared for, your sales will take care of themselves. But everybody on your team has to buy into this. They have to understand the mission. So here's your challenge this week. As I said, pick one of those things. So I hope this has sparked something for you. I would love it if you would share this with a fellow shop owner who could use a little reminder maybe that selling can be of service, not just stress, not just sleazy sales, whatever, but really, really helpful for your people. So until next time, keep showing up, keep serving your community, and remember, your profit at the end of the day, it's the oxygen that keeps us going, my friend. It keeps you in business. It keeps your people thriving. It keeps your community thriving. And it feels like it's so important for you to be running a business that supports the community, supports your lifestyle. And I hope that this has been helpful. A reminder, you can find different ways we can work together. You can get the Sales Accelerator program that I just mentioned, the Retail Sales and Marketing Accelerator, on demand on my website, wendybatten.com. We have the Retailer's Inner Circle and lots of other ways. So let's continue this conversation. Tell me which one you are going to action today. Tell me how we can be of service to you, my team and I. We are just here to help you thrive through the rest of this year and into 2026. And we kind of have fun doing it too. So thanks for being here, my friend. You can continue the conversation on my Instagram, wendybatten.biz. Love chatting to listeners over there. You can leave a review. Love reading your reviews. I'm going to say my little ego loves it. And other retailers find us better when you do leave a review. So thank you, my friend, for listening. We'll see you back here next week. Well, that's it for this week's episode of the Creative Shop Talk podcast. I'm so glad that you're here to join us this week, and I hope you found value in what we're sharing here. I want to remind you that our website has all of the show notes. You can find it at wendybatten.com/podcast. Everything that you need to hear about today's podcast is there. Also an opportunity if you need to reach out to me. If I can support you in any way whatsoever, please feel free to reach out. So thanks for joining us. Please leave a review, subscribe if you can, and never miss an episode. We hope to see you back here again next week. Thanks, my friend. Have a great week.